close up, but if it's not, that's okay too. And to get yourself set up, if you're going to be standing and moving around, to make sure you're, not going to run into any furniture. That's a good idea. I have my air on here. I actually put 2 sources of air on because this is a very old building. So it gets very hot in this room. All right, and we will be using, if you wish, we will be using a set of hand weights or 2 sets of hand weights if you have choices on hand weights. Because by the time I get to this class, I've usually taught several other classes, so I tend to go light because, I don't have to go heavy all day. That's just crazy. And I like also to be working on flexibility of shoulders and back. So and because I'm asking you to do movement at the same time as lower body movement at the same time as you're doing upper body movement, just want to make sure that you're stabilized in your lower body when you're moving. So again, as we're getting ready to go, because I'm about to start, if you're going to move with your feet, I prefer to be able to see at least your hips and the top of your thighs and just above your head, at least that much if I can, because watching the top half of your body without the hips doesn't give me as much information as I would like. All right, and please do have, there goes the small dog, of getting toys, a glass of water, good source of water. And we will be going to, for sure, we're going to the floor at the end if you're going to do that with me. We're going to do a lot of standing and moving stuff today. Or if you're in a chair, you're trying to approximate the movements as best you can in a chair. And part of what I'm trying to do is have you coordinate upper and lower body at the same time. That's one of the things we're doing. I have kind of a list of things we're doing. So I'm going to put some music on because that's what I like. And we're going to start a warm up. And please make sure you have room to move around without banging into your furniture if you're going to move. And we're going to start with the feet about hip distance apart. And I usually try to have people move their hips a little bit. And just relax the arms down. Stretch up and down. So if you've got ability to do the rhythm, thank you for the spotlight, which can be in a chair too. Even in a chair, it is okay to move your hips. And we're just taking that all the way up and stretching and bringing the arms down. You can use the rhythm in any way you wish, but I'm hoping that what you're doing is, opening up the hips and lengthening the arms. So if you're with me, I would prefer that you have your camera on, which I think you all do, which is nice. All right. And nice and tall. Now remember, if you can't get your arms up easily, I'd rather see you go out to the side where you can stretch and not necessarily tighten up your shoulders to get up. All right, put the arms down, one shoulder, other shoulder, and move the hips if you can. Good, guys. Rena and I are wearing the same color again. 4 more. We called each other. What are you wearing? I'm wearing that. 4, 3, 2, now, just a little stretch and tap, which from the ground, stepping on the ground is fine. You're sitting on the chair, you can still bounce the hip and move the foot while you lift the upper body, if that feels okay for you. Here comes Ruth. Good. Can you take the arm up and out? Because instead of going like this, what I'm trying to do is move the rib cage. So the arm is actually out. Right, so you're trying to get the length there. Good. All right, let yourself kind of swing, hips down and up. You don't have to move the feet much at all. Swing it out and up. Good, 4 more. Again, with this class, welcome to the class. I do prefer if you have the camera on, just because it makes it easier for me to keep you safe. All right, down, hips, roll the head. You can do both at once. Can you move your hips and roll your head? That's the question. Some people can't really do that. Some people can. Can you roll the head the other way? People still arriving to class, that's great. All right, swimming action. Speared swimming action. Moving the hips, moving the shoulders, moving the back, tapping the foot. If you don't want to move the foot, that's okay. You can actually just keep yourself stretching with the hips. Good. 4 more. All right, if you're just arriving and you haven't turned your camera on, I'm inviting you to do that. All right, 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Hands to the shoulders. twist and tap. Now this is actually, I'm doing a few different ways you can. Stretching, turning, mostly in the rib cage. Yep, and if you're in a chair, you could just be moving your torso. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. All right, if you're standing, take it to a little side step. If you're sitting, here's my quick demonstration. Let yourself move the legs side to side, but also move the hips. Good. Now, as you're doing a standing move, just take the arms in and out in different directions. And this could be quick or slow if it feels better for a warm-up. And you could just pretend you're dancing in a weird way. Right, good. And don't do exactly the same arms every time. See if you can find different ways to move the arms. Good. 4 more. 3 more. Yeah, I'm going to accept anything I can get. Good. Take the foot up and back if you're standing. If you're sitting, I know on a ball move, you just a little side to side, right? But you have to move the torso on a ball. Okay, good. So if you're doing the standing move, you could do the arms out and in and out. This is just a little arm pump. Yep, if you're on a chair or a ball, you can do that too. Just a little in and out. Good. Good. Don't tighten up the shoulders if you can. Tighten up the abs. All right, I'm just doing a heel tap, which again is a swing of the hip, and again that can be done in a chair. Now I'm going to take the arms and I'm going to do this swimming motion. Breaststroke. Breaststroke. See if you can move the hips and breaststroke all at the same time. Yeah, and if you can't, don't worry about it. But here's what I was doing. Heel tap, breaststroke. If you wanted to go fast, you could. 4 more. 3 more. Thank you. Nice. Keep the hips moving side to side if you can, because you know I'm going to speak about that in about a second if you don't. Yeah. 4, 3. Now watch what I'm doing. Heel tap, toe tap. Now, what I'm doing is actually moving the entire leg up to the hip. Now, that's a little quick. You could do it slower. Toe, heel, toe, heel. One of the things I'm doing in order to do that is actually using my thigh. Yep. All right, pretty good. Other side. Yes, it does help if you're standing to actually move your upper body around. That helps with the balance. Right, good. Going fast is harder, but you know, if you use the butt muscle, it'll be fun. That's it. All right, super good. Heel tap and just let the arms swing down and up. Good. Now, let the body move, meaning the torso. Let the hips move. Good, you guys. So here's what I'm seeing that I'm kind of objecting to, which is a stiff torso. So if you let the torso move a little bit side to side. Gee, what are you using? No, vertebrae. Vertebrae are very useful to use in life. I'm going to tell you that. 4 more. 3 more. That's very good, you guys. All right, swing the arms and back. Now watch how I'm doing this, because I'm going to let myself squat a little bit and pull up. Now I could do that pretty fast, or not. When I come up, I was lifting up on the toes. Just lifting up a little bit on the toes. 3, not very much. I am going to suggest you guys that you might want to take the arms wider when you go up, just because it might make it easier to work the shoulders instead of tightening in the shoulders. Yes, moving the chair is a good idea there, Jen. Otherwise you're going to run right into it. Everybody march, including if you're in a chair. Nice and tall. Come on. Pick those thighs up and down. Good. When you pick the thighs up rather than the knees, there's a difference. Can you go forward and back? Forward and back? Yeah, don't run into the TV. Don't run into the TV. Don't run into anything. Good. Can you pump the arms? Pump the arms. You know, if you get your arms a little higher than your heart, get that heart rate up. 4 more. They're singing my name over and over. It's cracking me up. All right, to the side. 5. Now I'm really like I'm waving at somebody across the auditorium. And I'm going to use my spine. I'm going to get their attention. Okay, some of you are using a very tight elbow. I'd rather see a long arm with a more flexible elbow. This is better for your shoulders. Breathing would be good. Very nice. All right. Feet a little bit apart. Can you move the spine around? Can you bend your knees? Can you undulate your back? Breathe. Can you take the arms up and down and then take it down to the floor and back up? I don't know. Let's see what you can do. Bend your knees. Go down. Come back up. Sway in the breeze. Breathe. You know, the more you use your spine, the bigger heart rate movement you're going to have. 4, 3, 2. All right, hands on the hip bones. This can be done in the chair. Thighs up. Hands can be on the shoulders or on the hips. Or if you want a little more challenge, out to the side. Like a big V. That's harder. Why is that harder? Because it's going to put more demand on the heart. It's going to put more demand on the shoulders. Can you keep the rhythm? Remember, that's a question. Because I don't actually give demerits for not holding the rhythm. Actually, I don't give demerits, period. Bring the arms down. Stretch, stretch. Now, can your hips sit sideways? And then sideways? And 4 more. Now, can your arms kind of wrap around you? Wrap around you? Good. Yeah, if the shoulders are bothering you, don't swing the arms too much. Right. Good. All right. And heel tap. Heel tap. Can you skip? Can you skip? Arms up and down. Now, if up is hard for you, you can always bring it forward. Where's the skipping? Skip, skip. Oh, I see some wonderful skipping. Very good. Breathe. Ruth, very nice. You can actually stretch and just take that a little longer if that's tight. Right. Yes, exactly. So you don't have to go so fast. Right. All right. Feet a little wide. Up to the butt. Up to the butt. Now see how I've got this kind of out a bit? So I'm trying to get my inner thighs. And I'm going to let the torso move a little bit. Now I'm going to pretend that I'm pushing my walls away. What's his name in the lion's den? Just push those walls away. That's right. 8 more. Okay, some of you are doing this. That will not push a wall away. Yeah, push your walls away. Make your rooms bigger. Up your real estate value. All right, march or skip or jog. Now, if you're in the chair, you can really pick that up. Right? Up. Relax the arms, please, and let the arms pump. Right, thank you. That's very good. Very good. Yes, you can go forward and back. You can do like some of my people do and go round in circles. Round in circles. Or more. Different gyms, people do different things. It's always highly entertaining for me personally to see what people find comfortable. Good. 4 more. Feet a little wide. Dance the hips. Now, if you're okay with this, you're going down, up. If you're wild and crazy, when you come back up, you can hop off the ground a little bit. Wah! Stop. Good. Remember that you should be protecting your spine. So if you're going down, squeeze your ass. What does that mean by that? Between the legs. Between the legs. Every time you come up, you can teacher. Because otherwise you're not really correcting your spine. You got it. Start getting woozy. Please don't pass out. Dance around. Passing out is strictly forbidden. All right. Turn tap. Now this could be done in the chair too. It's quick. But if I were in a chair and I wanted to really work my inner thighs, I would do this, right? So you're really working a different part of the thigh. Good, Merle. Arnold, try turning your butt a little bit. Turn your butt a little bit. Yes, yes. If you can't do the speed, don't worry about it. 4 more. Now, if you want to increase that workload, take the arms out. That's more work. But then again, you don't have to do that. 3 more. 2 more. All right, heel tap and swing. Little skip. Good, guys. 4 more. All right, 3 more. All right, so I'm going to keep that, or I'm going to do a jumping jack, which you don't have to do. You could just keep at that heel jack, but I do know that there's a field that likes to jump jack. So, you know. don't want to keep you from doing that if you like it. If you're in the chair, you could do the jumping jacks in the chair. 4 more. Good, stretch those arms, please. Using tight elbows only increases the shoulder tightness. All right. Now just let yourself wet one arm and then the other. Good. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. All right. On its back. This could be done on the chair with farther back. Hands on the thighs. Shoulders side to side. I'm not going up and down on the legs. I'm just trying to keep my hips low. Keep the bones of the lower back and hips a little bit open. 4 more. And 3 more. 2 more. All the way up. Now, step and kick. It doesn't have to be high. It does have to be bouncy. If you're in the chair, you might want to try a little bit wider in that kick, because that might be a more open spot. If you can get the legs up, I'm not going to tell you not to. Yeah, I was just having you put your hands on your hips, because it actually makes it easier to move the hip a little more and kick. Kick. I know, it's a little quick. If you want to go slower, that's fine. 4 more. Yes. All right. Heel tap. Arms up, shoulders down. Move the hips. In and out. In and out. Nice. Okay. Cleavage. Open the armpit. Cleavage, open the armpit. Nice. I'm very glad you knew what I meant by that, because I didn't explain it. Very nice. All right, up and back. Now, as always with this movement, you're actually doing a slight incline of the torso from the top of the head to the lower back, so that you're getting more work in the thighs. Back and forth. Now this can be slow if that's better for your shoulders. Okay. Little correction on a few people. Make sure that the abs are allowing the hips to be a little bit back, so you're not as tight in the front of the hips. Good. If you just get wiped out in the movement, just go ahead and take a break and dance around. That's always an option. All right. Hip tap. I'm just going to move the arms up and down in very weird, big ways. Good, you guys. I like that. Good. 4 more. See if you can do the hips first. Hips first. Yes, and then the arms. Arnold, I like the bigness of that movement. Yep. All right, feet a little bit apart. Toes slightly turned out. Dance the hips. Now, the arms, remember we've been talking about the idea that if we're going to go low with the hips, it helps if you work the arms a little bit behind you, so that you're working more muscle back here. Back and up. I'm going to really use my arms. Yes, do the twist. Do the twist. Yes. Twist. And if you never did the twist, just pretend. If you never did the twist, just pretend. 3 more. Ooh, how low can you go? Ruth, that's a terrific hip movement. That's a terrific hip movement. All right, heel tap. Raise the sun. Woo. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Excellent. Hands on the hips, feet a little wide. Up, up. Now watch, I'm looking right at you. I'm going to try and get my thigh a little harder than my hip bone. Now, if you wanted to do more than this, you can. Crunch, 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 crunch. You'll notice that that's not a big crunch, because I'm more interested in getting the thighs higher than the hip bone. Meryl, big points on that rotation. That's a very good rotation. If you don't like the hands here, you can always put them on the hip bone. A little harder to do the twist, but you can. Get those thighs up. Good. Little march or big march. Let's take the arms up and down. Can you do the march? And down. And up. And down. 4 more. Good. 3 more. more. One more. All right, very nice. Side step. You're going to move the hips and the spine. And then do a little dance. Do a little dance. Good. Be a little wide. Okay, I'm going to move my hips. And I'm going to take this all the way down, all the way down, all the way up. And you can do that, Meryl, but you got to go sideways first. Because it's more about crunching the side of the waist, like this sideways. And then taking it forward and coming all the way up. And if your arm is tough for you, always put your hands on the shoulders and just pretend you're lifting your arms up. If you pretend you're lifting your arms up, I'll give you points. Oh, by the way, go both directions, right? One way sideways, and then the other way sideways. Starting to get woozy, stand up and dance around. Passing out is forbidden. All right, dance. Get some water. Dance. Get some water. I'm going to demonstrate dancing and drinking. Now, if you have two sets of hand weights, one heavier, one lighter, this would be where to get your heavier weights. If you're not going to use hand weights, don't get them. If you want to just use a set of light weights for the whole thing, which is probably what I'm going to do because I've already done several classes today, you're welcome to do that. So if you've got weights in your hands, which is where they should be, down by the side of your hips, get water. You're just letting the weights rest by the side of the hips and the side of the thighs. What a lot of people do with weights is carry them forward the whole time, which is very tight on the shoulders. If you want to get that little feeling of lift across the chest, the hip is moving slightly side to side, not too much because I don't want you to add the shoulder. It's literally just the hip. And you take it up, down, down. So that's a fairly quick movement, but what I'm really interested in, that came out funny, is the hip bounce. Nice. So it's a very simple movement. Jenna, honey, not to the top of your shoulder, just to the armpit. Just to the armpit. And think more about the hip. Yeah, that's exactly what I want, because I don't want the shoulders going out of alignment quite yet. Actually, I never want them going out of alignment, but that's all right. Or more. Keep watching your hips in case you're wondering what I'm doing up here. 3 more. Good, everybody fixed their hips. That was fun. All right. Waist to the top of the shoulders. Squat, lift, up, down. Now, Meryl, if you don't want to, you're not really in a position to do squats, but you could do thigh lifts in between the lift arms. So, squat, lift, up, down. Look right at the camera. If you're looking at the floor, is that the camera? It is not. Okay, Arnold, that's very good, but you got to get your arms up so I can see the whole of your armpit. Thank you. Those are your armpits. Very good. Good. All right, waist to the side of your thigh. Lift. Now, this is just a small lift. If you're very flexible, maybe able to get that up quite high with that speed. But that's more about flexibility than it is about strength. You make a few suggestions on just a few of you could open your knees and thighs and feet a little bit farther apart. And that's where your hips are more flexible. Right. Okay. Weights here, swing it back. Up. Now this is quick. If you wanted to do it slower, you could. The tricep extension. The hip is swinging back into an incline squat. Abs are tight. Now it's almost as if you're trying to hand the weights to somebody behind you. No, not almost exactly like that. Kathleen, I think knees and feet a little wider and hips a little farther back. Oh, that looks better. Now I see more of the back stretching now, which is what I really want. Well, I want everything. I want everything. All right, you guys, very nice. That's a heavier set of weights. If you're changing weights, we're not quite there yet. I've just got the weights down by my side. Now see where I have them right by the side of my hip, not in front. I'm going to rotate the arms out so that the elbow is kind of in towards the side of my hip. Crunch, abs. Up and down. Now you see I'm not going higher than my shoulders. Nice. Now as you pick the thigh up, there's a bounce in the hip. Bounce, 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 bounce. Yeah. Good. Listen, if you've got the bounce, then I'm not going to really worry about how high that thigh is. Because the bounce is your safety. Well, your abs too. Good, Gloria. That's cute. 3 more. 2 more. Feet about hip distance. Waist to the side of the thighs. And before we start, give the butt a little dance. Give it a little dance. Abs tight. Back. Row. Down. So Meryl, if you just wanted to do an incline row without the lift up, you could. Or you can insert the lift up, which just puts the spine in a long position. Good. So it's up to you. I know you do these kind of exercises regularly, so I trust you here. 8 more. Now this is a little quick. If you are feeling like you need to go a little slower, you're always welcome to, because slow with muscle work is actually pretty effective. Yeah, slow it down a little bit for you. Some of you might want to do it that way. Good. 2 more. 1 more. This is an incline semi-squat. Now this is the last one. I'm going to put the weights to the side of my thighs. Up. Now that's pretty quick. You might want to go slower. And that could be in a chair too. So you would be to the front of the chair and see if you can get that leg up, which might be challenging. Yeah, if you can do the rhythm, good for you. I see some of you doing the rhythm. I know how hard it is once you got the rhythm going. Like all of your body wants to do the rhythm. Unless you have a little problem with rhythm, and it's like, nah, not so much. 4 more. Super good. All right, CA position. Weights on the thighs. Now see how I've got my feet a little turned out, toes turned out. I'm going to swing the hips. Now on a ball, you can do this position. Actually pull the hips on the ball. Abs are tight, chest is up. Something pretend on the top of your head. Now open the thighs, take the hips back, and come up. Now I'm doing this slowly. Some of you may be able to go more quickly, but you want to really open the thighs, tighten up the low abs, and let the hips go back a little bit. Here's what I don't want. I don't want you to sit down for the movement. I want you to have that imaginary crown on your head, or whatever. Big bottle of alcohol on your, whatever you want on your head. Nice. Okay, point. There's some nice stretching going on here. That's it. Good. Abs tight. Okay, here's what I don't want. Don't let the shoulders come forward. If you keep your chest up, and that means you can't get quite as low. Point for you. 3 more. Good. 2 more. We're good. All right. Waist to the side of the thighs. Feet are in that position. And we can take it back. Abs are tight. Okay, so here's where the hip gets tight. If you don't let the hip come back a little bit and down. Take it back and up. So these are very heavy. You may want to just not even use the weights, especially if using the weights makes your lower back feel tight. Breathing. Good, you guys. Marnie, very nice. There's a hip bounce. Very smooth. 4 more. 3 more. All right. I'm going to take this wide CA position, but this is without the squat. And open and up on the toes. Now watch. Open, come up on the toes, down. So it's a little bit quick. You can go slower. Open, up on the balls of the feet. That might be a little hard to do for the knees. If it's hard for the knees, change position on the knees. A little closer together. Nice. Ah, very good. Yeah, some of us won't be able to manage so much of a CA. That's fine. You do what you can. Eyes on the teacher. Eyes on the teacher. Start seeing 4 instead of teacher. That's not it. 3 more. 2 more. All right. Super good. Just a heel tap. If you can. Up, up, down, down. If that's too heavy for that overhead move, don't do it. And it's quick. So that's why I'm using light weights. If you're using heavy weight and you can't manage your full range of motion, please just do half the movement. Good. 3. Nice and tall. 3 more. 2 more. Yep. Nice, you guys. You know, if I'm not saying anything, it's because everybody looks pretty good. 1 more. All right, very nice. Feet wide. Roll the spine. Roll the hips. Roll the shoulders. Roll the neck. If it's on your body, roll it. All right, we're going to put the heavier weights aside. Get some water. Keep moving. Getting your drink of water here. 4 more. All right. I will demonstrate in a chair here, but I want this foot here and this leg way back. Now, if a ball were underneath it, this would be fine right here with this one leg way back. Hands up on the shoulders, body a little forward. See? We're not arching the back here. We're stretching it. Now, in this position, tighten up the stomach. Up, back. I want the hip to stay back. Now, if you're on a ball or on a chair, you actually crunch, pull, crunch, pull.
He's like the sun,
Good.
I might have known.
3 more. Pretty good.
Granted me a son.
Jenna, and you need to keep your hip farther back. More towards the window. Ha ha ha. Good. All right. Nice and tall. Just a little side step dance. 4 more. So getting these long balances is actually really challenging. So here's what I'm doing. I'm keeping my chest here, but I'm turning it a little bit sideways. I'm take this hip back. See where the hip is back? Now watch what I'm not doing. I'm not moving up. That's back. I'm leaving the hip back, tightening up the abs, but I'm looking ahead. Now if you're having trouble with this, you just stay here, do 1. See if you can keep the hip back and not continuously do it. If the hip can stay back, then you can go more over and over. Right. Keep the hip back. I know I can say that and you may not be able to feel that you're doing it. It's tricky to feel. It's okay, Arnold. You can always dance. Thank you, Arnold. Arnold dances whenever he's not quite sure what the mood is. That's always good. 2 more. All right, you guys, that was awesome. All right, heel tap. Now what I'm going to do, because this is kind of a quick movement. 4 more. I'm trying to throw in a little bit more of just coordination. So, side step. That could be on a ball. I'm going to try and move the torso and the hip at the same time. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yes. So hip and torso, and then the feet follow that. Right, very good. Now, feet a little wide, sit back slightly, which can also be done on the ball. Abs are tight, right leg forward, back, left. So you have to turn the hip a little bit. Yes, you can do this on the ball, but you see what I'm doing with the hip? I'm keeping it bouncing. Yeah, you start pretending the hips are balls. Yep. Okay. Jana, your friend has to keep his legs wider. So don't bring them together. There we go. Forward. Forward. You got it. Ruth, that's awesome. That's good wide hip placement. Very good. See, Gloria. Woo! Nice. Good. All right. Just a little tap. What we were doing before during the warm-up. Stretch it out. Good. All right. Heel tap. Bring the hip. Try to get the leg out. Can you move the hip and the thigh? Yes, you do have to move your first. Good. 4 more. Good. All right, legs a little wide. This can also be on the ball. Take the hips. Use them roll. Take the hands on the thighs and roll the thighs open and close. Now you don't have to do a big movement, but in the wide position, you're trying to press open the thighs. Guys, this doesn't work very well unless you can take the hips a little bit back. Kind of like the Charleston, but not exactly. Yep. Okay. Chest has to be up, shoulders down. If you're rounding your shoulders, you're actually rounding your lower back too much. Right? Good? All right. Super good. Dance it out. Dance. I know Arnold's going to dance for me. Good. Nice. Yeah, if the shoulders are getting tight, you can always put your hands on your hips and do more movement down with the lower body. Do not have to make everything happen from the upper body. 4 more. Super good. 2 more. Okay. Crunch. This is on the ball too. Up, up, up. Can you move your butt? Move your shoulders. Move your arms. Woo! Dance. Change legs. Oh, yeah, I can do this with just the leg, but it helps if everything else dances with it. Ha ha ha! All right, check it out. So good. Now, I'm going to move the thighs out again so I get that stretch in the lower back. Good. 4, 3, 2. Now, just a little bit of a plie position. Open the thighs, stretch the arms out. Rotate the shoulders. Now, I'm turning the whole arm. Whole arm. All the way up to the shoulder because I'm going to try and get my tricep to come forward. Ooh. Nice, but not a hunch. Yep. 4 more. Ooh, I like some of your plies. Some of you could go a little deeper in the plie. I'm just saying. I wasn't going to say who. Good. All right. Let that stretch. Now, we are going to go to the floor in a minute, but before we do that, now you can just use arms, or you can get just a set of light weights, get a little water. Those of us that are still standing, you're not on a chair, here we go. Get the light weights or no weight. All right, feet a little wide, hip, 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 hip. 4 more. All right. I'm just going to lift the arms to just below the shoulders. I'm going to keep my elbows a little bent. Chest up. I'm doing a little bump and grind with my hips. Good. In, out, forward. In, out, forward. Now, if you can't quite manage that, you can also do this without weights, or you can just stretch out the shoulders. You'll notice what I'm doing with my hips because it makes a big difference. If the shoulders are peeking over, you just try the hips a little more, or put the weights down and do it without weights. Because that's okay, you have weight in your arms. Good. All right, weights on the thigh. Shoulder, shoulder. I'm really squeezing my abs. And I'm bringing the shoulder towards the knee on the other side. And I'm just looking down at my foot, not behind me. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Now I'm just going to bring the weights up on the shoulders. Up, down. Yes, this can be done on a ball. Up, down. Good. Sideways. Sideways. Now the standing knee needs to be a little bent. Can you move the side of the rib cage a little bit? Yep, that's it. Watch the teacher. Well, the teacher's now not doing a demonstration. But I just want you looking forward. Nice, you guys. You're trying to use the inner thigh to lift. Good. If your standing knee is a little bit more bent, you should be able to pick that thigh up higher. Is a goal. All right. Feet a little bit apart. Hips back. Abs tight. Swing back. This you can also do on the ball. You want to put your hips a little farther back. I'm letting the arms be actually pretty straight. I'm not bending the elbows. And I'm going to pull back. Pull back. Good. Then I'm going to look ahead. This is where you can look at the floor. Good. Jenna, a little less in the front of the knees, more hips back. Yes, girl. That's it. Feel the difference in the lower back because that's really good. 4 more. Dance around if you're tired, or if you're just tired of doing it. That's fine too. All right, shoulder roll dance. Dance. Good, you guys. 4 more. I'm gonna put the weights aside, get some water, set up for the floor. If you're not gonna work on the floor, stay where you are, drink your water, and dance. If you can set up for the floor, or on a bed, or on a couch, and change your camera so I can see you, which would be awesome. Keep the rhythm, if you can. I'm just gonna take the spotlight off in case you're gonna set up your camera for me. And if you're changing, you might want to do that. All right, so that was super good. So many of the things that I've been trying to get you to do, so many of you are doing them more automatically. That's what happens with practice, practice, practice. So you're going to get to hands and knees, spine up and down, or if you're in a chair, you really still stretch the back up and down. That's just important. Back up and down, whether you're in a chair or on the floor. I'm going to take this back on my spotlight here, and even though this music is highly entertaining, I'm going to take it down and out. All right, so I'm putting this back so that I can see you now that I've spotlighted me for you. And one more time, I'm just going to show you, if you were sitting in a chair, you can still, and this is a great thing to do regularly, really round the back and release it. Now, when you release it, you should be opening the chest a little bit and dropping your shoulders back. And when you go for rounding the back, you want to make this all about the tummy and between the shoulder blades, but not really pulling up the shoulders. That's a very important difference on moving your back. Okay, so if you're all done with that, you may go all the way over onto your back right now, which is fine. If you're not on your back and you're on a chair, we are trying to work with how you get the spine to relax in a chair, which is actually fairly tricky, but you want to make sure that you have your hips completely on the chair and a lot of lift to the top of the head. All right, so we're doing nothing right now except crunching the tummy, whether you're in a chair or whether you're on the floor. We've got the weights nearby, but we're not using them yet. Okay, so I'm going to crunch the tummy, but I'm leaving my head, neck, and shoulders on the ground right now and taking one leg up and the other leg down. This is a simple move. And if you're in the chair, what are you doing? You know, I'm going to go back and forth here. So if you're in the chair, the difference is that you're crunching and lifting your leg forward and up. But what I don't want is that when you lift the leg, that tightens your lower back. So it's very important that these leg lifts, if you're in a chair, are not tightening your lower back. So for the rest of you, you're lying on the floor, your head, neck, and shoulders are on the ground. How nice is that? Pretty nice. You're resting your head, you're crunching your belly, and you're bringing the thighs up one at a time over your tummy. And if you're in a chair, you're sitting as tall as you can, and you're pulling the legs up and crunching. But the leg coming forward does not necessarily have to get very high. It's really more about stretching the back and coordinating. Some of you are just lying on the floor. I guess you can do that if you need to stretch. Okay, 3 more each side. Breathing would be good. 2 more. Oh, here come the puppies and kitties. Every time I have people lie down on the floor, puppies and kitties come and join, which is highly amusing. My little dog is apparently, oh, there she is. I thought she was in the other room with my husband, so I thought maybe she wasn't going to come. All right, so now, wherever you are, we're going to take a stretch. Now, if you're sitting in the chair or on the chair, you still can stretch. You can arch, you can stretch up, you can try to get that stretch across the tummy, and we're also trying to stretch the back. Very important. Now, if you're on the floor, you can get your knees bent, feet on the ground, and then add your weights. And we're just going to start chest presses, which is right from the armpits up. These can be heavy or they can be lighter. And we're just going to add a pelvic tilt or a bridge. Now, when you start a pelvic tilt, you should be using the butt muscle and the thigh to lengthen the back and tighten up the abdominal wall. If you're using the chest press with it, you're really relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders on the ground. Now, how would you do this in a chair? So that's dependent on what's going on in your lower back. If you're in a chair, you got to be really squeezing the abs. Any chest press action has to be very easy in the shoulders, all the way forward from the armpits, and then all the way back with the armpits, with the elbows as far back behind you as you can. Okay, I'm watching to make sure that I didn't really mess up on these instructions. Yeah, that's very good. You want the hands, if you're sitting in the chair, to really come in front of the stinky armpits, not the top of the shoulders. Right. 4 more. Yeah, if you're doing pelvic tilts or bridges, I'm going to recommend a little bit slowly so that you're not really speeding through these. 2 more. 1 more. Excellent. Okay, so just for a moment, put the weights down. If you're in a chair, I want you to do those inversion stretches. This is just one of those things when we start working on the spine, you want to take these little bit of breaks, let the spine be long or be on the thighs, and roll a little bit so that you're getting that rounded. If you have the kind of problems in the back where you can't really go from flexion from the hips, then we have to work on something else from the chair. If you're on the floor, both legs up, head on the ground, get the legs as stretched towards your shoulders as you can. I would not put the feet together. I would take them a little bit apart. If you can, crunch up head, neck, and shoulders slightly off the ground. And then you're trying to stretch the legs back and forth across the tummy. Now, when we teach Pilates, we teach this all from the low stomach, what anybody should be anyways. The head, neck, and shoulders is not trying to get your head high. It's just trying to get your shoulders to relax. Right. And work from the stomach, not from the neck. Really, it's true that if you're lifting from the neck, within a few seconds, your neck will tell you that it doesn't like it for a very good reason. If you're not trying to get the head high, the shoulder blades are really what you should be paying attention to in terms of the height. All they have to be is enough off the floor for me to be able to slip a single piece of paper under your shoulder blades. A single piece of paper is not very high. Now, if you're in the chair, there's a lot of different movements you can be doing that really work this, but the best ones are really the rotations and the thighs. Those are the best ones because they use the most muscle. Okay, I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds of one of these. I'm very happy with the leg movements. If you need a stretch, you please take it, especially if you're starting to feel the lower back in a bad way. Actually, you shouldn't feel the lower back hardly at all. 4 more. 3, if you need a break, just lying on your back and stretching your back and legs is fine. 2 more. 1 more. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate what we've been doing with the hips and back. Putting the arms out on the floor, both thighs go one way to the floor, both thighs go the other. Now, how do you do that in a chair? That's actually harder to really approximate in a chair, except that you can really move the hips here, which is just the hips with an upright spine, and then move the spine separate. I wouldn't do them both at the same time. I would do the spine rotation sitting in a chair, then square off, and move the thighs side to side. That's just a good way to open up the hips. And the rest of those of you on the floor, that's the kind of move you can do a really long time. Don't I know it? All right, so if you're in a chair, I would prefer these to be light weights. We're going to do flies. If you're on the floor, you can do heavy weights because the floor is supporting your back, so the weights go up over the chest. So I have the weights side by side right over the center of the chest, which also can be called the cleavage. And I'm going to take this here. Now, this is a really nice way, simple and easy to stretch the hips. So I'm going to show you this just in case this is a good one for you. All the way out, all the way up is how you do a fly. And I usually try to just lightly brush the floor with my tricep out here. Now, if you're really tight in the shoulders, that's not a good idea. You'll know. You don't want any pain in the shoulders. If you've got tight hips, you can just let the thighs roll open and back together with the abs tight. And that is a nice way of just letting the gravity stretch your hips. If you're not tight in the hips and you've got pretty good abdominal control, you can also take the legs up and these can go wide here and together. Now, again, if we're trying to approximate these movements in a chair, I would not do much with the thighs. I would keep the feet and knees a little wide, light weights or no weights at all. Stretch the shoulder blades back and bring them together right in front of the chest, nice and tall, and letting the shoulder wall pull back in the wide position. You know, the points of the shoulder blades should sort of be pointing towards each other like arrowheads. Exactly. That's good. Now, if you're doing the rotations on the thighs with the feet on the ground, you can just let them kind of stretch open for a few seconds. Yep, that should actually feel pretty good. If you do, come on, we go slow down some of you. Some of you are going awfully fast. These are not supposed to be fast. 3 more. That's it, good. You're letting the weight do that. If you start getting tired on the shoulders, particularly in the chair, please take a break and stretch. Very nice, everybody. Everybody puts the weights down so that you can take a stretch. And on the back, nice and long with the arms up, legs down, arching the back. In the chair, you could do alternating up with a stretch and forward, but you wouldn't want to go fast because you're trying to lengthen the vertebrae. If you're on the floor, you can try rolling the hips a little bit side to side. If you're very tight in the hips, you can just bend your knees a little more in order to be able to roll the hips on the ground. And that should do it. 4 more, 3 more. Okay, knees bent, feet on the ground. Okay, so we're gonna do a little crunching, legs up, and just pretend, yeah, this is that bicycle action, except I'm not really making circles. You know, it's actually interesting. If you try to do the bicycle making circles, you have to go a little slow because what you're trying to make the circles with is not the knees, but with the thighs, And if you can do a little bicycle action, whether it's circular or back and forth, you can add a tiny twisting of the rib cage. Please do not turn your head or your shoulders. Rib cages are farther down. Okay, this is good. Those of you with any kind of a tight lower back, if you're on your back, think higher with the feet. And again, how can we do this? Well, we could make circular actions of the legs sitting, and we can twist. Making the thighs make a circle is actually tricky because most of us do everything with our knees. That's right. Okay, feet should go higher on several people. I'm watching feet very low below the knees. They should be higher than the knees. 4 more. That's nice, Meryl. It's good movement of the spine. 3 more. Good. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Excellent. All right, everybody onto the ground. If you're not on the ground, big long stretch and roll it out. I'm going to put the arms on the side. I'm going to put the feet here. So I've got my lower back down. I'm going to bring both thighs up. Now, if you're tight in the lower back, you may want to do this next movement with the feet on the ground. But what I'm wanting you to do is roll the thighs towards the floor, but keep the feet up. Okay? Yep. So this is actually a stretch for the back, but you don't want to go so far that it feels like you're falling over. And if you're in the chair, what are you doing? All right, in the chair, feet a little bit, the butt towards the front. Really rotate, look down. Really rotate, look down. Rotate first, then look down at your hip. Rotate first, then look down at your hip. Pretty good, you guys. If you got your feet going side to side and you're on the floor, if you press your hands into the ground, you can actually control it better because you've got your shoulders more in contact with the floor. 4 more. Beautiful, everybody. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Okay, so on your back, knees bent, feet on the ground, take one thigh up, hands around the back of the thigh, just give it a hug. In the chair, you can still pull that thigh up, but you have to get your spine very upright and keep the knee bent and stretch the back of the hip. Now, if you're on the floor, you can take that leg up and really point and flex the foot. And what I really want you to do is keep the knee a little relaxed so that you can get a lot of action out of the foot. Can you do that in a chair? You can. It does help in the chair to actually support the thigh more from behind so that you get more action out of the foot. Then once I've done the point and flex and all that, then I try to rotate the ankle and the toes in a bit of a circle. Now play around with the position of the thigh. Sometimes if the thigh is pulled too close, that's where the foot is tighter. You might want to take the thigh a little farther away to see if you can get more action out of the foot. And then, you know, paint circles with your ankle. Both directions. Yeah, it's amazing how much, yep, these are good things to do. Okay, and if you're on the floor, you can hold the leg or not. I'm going to take it out to the side and across the body. Now, I'm demonstrating holding the leg. I have the other foot bend on the ground. How would you do that in the chair? You would not do that with a straight leg at all. You do that with the knee across and out, across and out, because we're trying to get some rotation on the hip. And if you need to hold on to something like the bottom of your chair or something beside you to keep your hips from rolling, you do that. Okay, great. We have the other side to do. So you're on your back, you're bringing the other thigh up. If you're on your back, and if you're in the chair, you're lifting that leg, and then you're going to point and flex the foot. Now, I'm using my abs, shocking, I know. And I do actually have my hands a little bit on my thigh. Now, if you don't need your hands on your thigh to support your thigh and your back, that's fine. The real trick is to try and get the foot to move from the ankle to the toe to the heels, and then make a circle. And I tell you, every time I go to make a circle, there's a little bit of my parts of my foot that complains a little bit. I have to get that warmed up so that I get more circles out of my ankles and heels. Do not cramp your feet. Do not, that's easier said than done. If you use too much of the instep of your foot, it'll cramp. You want to use more of the front of the foot and the ankle with a heel right behind there. All right, very good. Now, I'm just taking this leg, I'm rolling it out to the side and across my body a little bit. And I can do this without holding on, but some people that's really uncomfortable. So then you just put your hand on the side of the thigh, kind of guide that across the body and out to the side and across the body. So you're trying to get the thigh to actually move sideways so that the bone going into the hip just gets a little bit of stretch. All right, everybody, we can either put your knees bent, feet on the ground, hands down by the side of your hips, palms slightly up, or you can stretch your legs out on the ground, still put your hands a little bit away from the side of your hips. Or if you're sitting in the chair, just look for the most comfortable supportive position in the chair and allow yourself to feel a little bit of lift from the top of the head so the neck is in a nice long position if you're sitting. And if you're sitting, you can just put your hands on your thighs if that's the most comfortable position for your shoulders, or you can let them rest down by the side of your hips. It just really depends on your shoulder wall, which one of those things is easiest. And everybody, please close your eyes. Now, whatever position you have with your hands, if you could just take a moment to really relax the palms of the hands and the fingers. You don't have to straighten them. It's just about releasing the tension in the hands, especially in this age of computers. And let the feeling of lift from the top of the head open up the neck. And that can be on the floor or sitting. And with the eyes closed, and the idea of the eyes closed is to let the eyelids rest over your eyes so that the tears of your eyes can refresh your eyeballs. And at the same time, lower the amount of sensory information that is coming into your brain because we are closing off access to what the visuals of the optic nerve. Now, as you're letting the face relax, think about the jaw, the tongue, the eyebrows, the forehead. It's also, this process is a process of listening. Listening to, yes, to what I say, but also listening to the information that comes into your brain on the sensory system. So you're letting your hands rest wherever they are. While we're at it, let's release the muscles of the feet. We were just working the feet, so that's a good time to just let them go. And wherever they are, just let them rest. Whatever position they're in, let the feet rest and breathe. Now we're focusing on the breathing just because when you're very, very relaxed in your breathing, there's a very gentle amount of work to be done in the breathing. You're allowing the diaphragm to drop a little bit. That opens up the lungs slightly and fills it in with air, and then just pressing out. It's not a huge amount of effort, and we want to give that a gentle energy. The rest of the body can go into a state of rest. Your eyes are closed, your head is resting as best it can. If you're sitting in a chair, that's a little more challenging. You're going to inhale gently and exhale, and let your body relax and rest on the ground or in the chair, and breathe. For the next few moments, I'm just giving you the assignment to pay attention. Any part of your body, mind, or spirit that sort of speaks to you, take a moment to quiet that area down for a moment and breathe. Inhale, filling yourself with a gentle sense of well-being, and as you exhale, release any tension, discomfort, stress, giving yourself a cleansing action and taking your body closer and closer, without judgment, to a place of rest. Inhale, filling yourself with a sense of calm, and exhale, sending away exhaustion. Inhale, filling yourself with well-being and a gentle energy that replenishes all your cells, and exhale, send away pain, fear, injury, illness. Give yourself this next moment in which all you do is rest. And as you rest, picture yourself in your mind's eye, and this is my favorite current image. Visualize yourself as healthy, strong, balanced, flexible, capable, perfect. Now that's the official end of class, but you're welcome to stay there and take a nap if you want, and just move your joints and wake up. Meryl, thanks for the note. We often have that happen. When we're doing real alignment work all the time, we often get that information back from practitioners that the things are opening up, because that's kind of the evil plan.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you, Sara.
have a terrific week, everybody, rest of the week, and I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank
Yes.
you. Have a great
You're
week.
welcome. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Sara.
You're welcome. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sara. That was great.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for coming to class. See you guys later.
Marnie Bodek.
Oh,